I call this meeting to order at
7:15.
7:15 p.m. Introductions. Hi, I'm Nick, Vice President Internal.
Molly, International Director.
Rachel Wu, Women's Director.
Manuel Grasser is Director.
I'm Aaron. I'm the Sexuality and Gender-Based Identity Director.
I'm Mercedes, I'm the Residence Director.
Congratulations on both. I didn't know that.
I think this is Mercedes' first meeting.
Yes, it is.
Aaron, I think it's your second.
Kind of.
First real meeting.
Joel, you're missing my first meeting.
Oh yes, and Joel, who are you?
Hello, I'm Joel Springer, I'm BUSU President.
There we go.
Now I know.
Yeah. Okay. So adoption of the agenda. Are there any additions or amendments to the agenda?
I have several additions to the agenda,
Oh
actually.
god.
As do I.
Does anybody have an extra pen?
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, first thing I got is, appointment of appointment of members to ERDI board. The second agenda item I have is, appointment of Logan Fogg as RO. And the third one I have is, third agenda item I have is, where is it here? YWCA Women of Distinction Awards Dinner. I'll explain that one when we get to it.
That one's in the agenda
Did I
as
put the agenda?
yeah,
Yeah.
point G.
Yeah,
already.
it's there.
So we're gonna make
Yay!
point J.
Yeah.
We're gonna make point J the appointment of the ERDI board.
Yeah.
And point K as appointment of Logan Fogg as returning officer.
Okay.
And then only order to make one.
Oh, I wanted to talk about tuition rebate for directors. Like I have a couple of questions and discussions. So how can I say that?
Okay, well, so point L,
Yeah.
discussion
About tuition rebate for directors.
discussion on tuition rebate for directors. And then I have two changes as well. Under point H, for the revised budget, it needs to be a motion to approve the proposed budget. So it's just change point H in motion. And under point E, the possible change of healthcare and dental providers is it also needs to be there needs to be a motion to sign the memorandum of understanding. We'll get to it. It's
What did you say?
motion to sign the memorandum of understanding.
Memo.
Oh, that's what matters.
Yes.
Yes.
You
Oh,
got it.
wow. Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay.
I learned something today.
We didn't talk about it all the time.
Okay. So, any other additions or anything else to the agenda? No. Okay. Moving on. So, approval of the minutes. I believe they were in the email that Joel sent out for last week. Were there any omissions or additions needed for that? Did they go out?
I don't think they went out.
I think
Because
it
I
was
think
just
the
the
only-
budget and the.
Yeah, the only things were the
Yeah.
budget and this week's agenda.
Okay. Then we'll deal with that. Then we'll get those approved at the next meeting. Okay, presentation and correspondence, none at the present. Receipt of reports, committee reports, we have nothing because none of the committees have met yet. Executive, you can see Joel's, Joel has his report here, going through all the things that he's done with other people, and all those things. And then there's also my VPI report, which is just sort of what I've done. for the last couple weeks. I don't know, big things on there. Joel went to Winnipeg to meet students from the psych nursing campus on the 19th of September. Big thing for me was we had a couple health and dental opt-out days that we were quite successful. Those are sort of the...
Opt-out is done. Like,
The opt-out is
more
done.
than-
We cannot opt out. People, we can opt in people, we cannot
Not
opt out.
opt
There's
out.
no more opting out. It's done with. So, yeah. Director reports. So, women's director.
Oh, good. Well, we're just skipping straight to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's know that.
Well, usually we Joe goes, this
Okay.
person, no, this person. Okay, so we did Take Back the Night the other night, which was like a really big success. It was probably 3 times bigger than, we had, give or take 120 people who showed up. Everything went really well. We didn't have any issues. It's pretty
We
much
saw
it.
that, it was cool.
Yeah, it went really, really well, so. Yeah.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
SGIB.
All right, so I met with Rune from the Cirque Center. He's the new person that's been hired on for the LGBT side of things for the Cirque Center. And he's been running a Trans Day of Remembrance group that's going to be, we're going to be meeting on the 6th, but we're going to be discussing more in a future meeting. We also have Coming Out Day coming on the 11th of October. There's going to be a booth with the collective downstairs. As well as October 16th, there will be Spirit Day. And anybody who has anybody who's lost somebody for the LGBT community or supports them at large are asked to wear purple on that day, just to remember all the people that committed suicide from the LGBT community. And the community, the collective met today, and in the next 2 weeks they're going to have executive voting for their collective. After that, I'll get you some more information from there. Okay? That would be October 16th, and it's called Spirit Day.
Okay.
And it's to support LGBT youth that have committed suicide.
International students.
Yeah. International students have some good news. We got a temporary lounge. Do you know that?
Very nice.
Master. EAP classroom beside. You are sitting there today. Medium B. Yeah. It's like temporary. They gave it us to after 2:30 to 11 p.m. So till 2:30 they have classes there. Then we use it. We hang out there weekend, study in weekdays, pretty fun. And also we talked to Dr. Farron. He said we'll get a new place soon. Depends on if we have space on campus. So
Okay, I'm not sure if it's the right amount of space, but there's an empty room on floor 3.
where is it?
Here, in here.
McMaster?
No, in KDC.
Really?
Yeah.
What is? How big is
It's
it?
the same size as this
Oh.
room.
Well, is the room not across from Women's Club not open as well?
It's
Or
technically,
is that like a
it's,
storage room?
it's technically in use by a group.
Sorry. It's still the quills. We have to work out, we still haven't had a chance for me and Chris to sit down and work out a new agreement with them. Part of that agreement should allow us to get that room and open it up to applications from clubs and groups to use as a space.
So I
Haven't had a chance yet.
So I know. So yeah, there's that room that will be available soon. There's also one upstairs. There's smaller up
Is it
there.
big?
No, it's small.
Small.
But I know that Buga is also looking for essentially a storage room for their games and such. So the one up there might suit them better.
Alright.
And then the one across the hall there. is
Yeah,
pretty-
you get Halo Worlds Collective, the LGBT Collective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have meeting room B every day?
Not B actually. EAP every day. EAP classroom beside media.
It's-
Oh,
It's
okay.
between Louis Urel and me.
Okay, no, I know what you're
It's
talking
me
about.
or
The
C,
reason
yeah.
it's cool is we have a built-in smartboard there. We can use smartboard anytime we want.
Oh, you
Anytime.
said where I was sitting, so I thought you meant
Beside-
your meeting room.
beside that,
Oh, okay.
And we also have blackboards and other things. We have trees, microwaves, we got everything's cool.
Yeah, I've seen people in that room a lot
Yeah.
lately, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
And they like it. And second good reason is we're getting a page under Brandon University website. They will give us a couple pages for international students.
Oh.
So I'm working on it. I'll get the training. I think this week we'll build it. That would be one more cool thing. And our some events coming up for Thanksgivings. I think they're making some plans. This is all going on.
Very nice. Residence director.
We have all 3 councils have or all three halls have councils elected now. We're working on figuring out who's all gonna be in the Interres committee. But Interres kind of unofficially did the Olympics. It was mostly RAs and current council members, but it's still considered an Interres event. And then the three halls are currently working on floor events. The floor reps are doing that, and I don't think there's anything huge happening for the next while, resonance-wise. I know graffiti and toga are both a week apart in November. November 14th is graffiti, November 21st is toga and suds.
And I had a question to you. Do you know what's the process to be RA there on campus?
To be a
RA.
an RA?
Yeah.
You just have to apply at the end of the year.
I heard that you have to live there 2 years at least something.
Oh yeah, you can't apply at the end of your first year. You have to be there for at least 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing the food meetings this year?
Yes. There was supposed to be one today, but Paul canceled it because he said he couldn't get people together on time, like his people, not us. So like I don't know about Flora and Derek for sure, but McMaster has people on that committee. So
I believe Derek Hall does as well.
okay.
I'm assuming Florida does. Jessica's been pretty on the
She
ball of
has
everything.
The council's
Except for getting
continuing
Interres people.
efficiently. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think that should still be happening.
Okay. Roland's apparently going to call in shortly, and that'll be a thing. But okay.
Greg, Emmanuel.
Oh, Emmanuel, grad studies work. Sorry.
Just this name. Okay, yeah, I'm having a meeting on Friday with the main graduate studies director. And so we're trying to put this together so we'll get along with events for graduate students and see how we can create things that are relevant, in the campus community for graduate students. It's a very small part of the school, but we still have to get things going. So it's just a starting process for us. So get there. That's it for now.
Okay. Very cool. Moving into new business. E-cigarettes. So this is, I recall this was me. So we've had a couple incidents in SUDS of people smoking electronic cigarettes, those are the vaporizers, inside, like during socials. We had security go up and talk to them and tell them to go outside during a social. And at this point, Carla is acting under the assumption that, in terms of just for the KDC building, is that anyone with a vaporizer, if they want to smoke it, they have to go to the smoking pit, just like anyone else with a cigarette. Now the thing is, there is no bylaw for Brandon University saying that there's no language about e-cigarettes. They're, I guess, too new of a technology, even though they've been around for 4 years at this point. Under Canadian law, you cannot sell nicotine-infused juice as for the vaporizers, but it's not well enforced through Canada. So a lot of places do sell it, and in my view, they should be considered like cigarettes. But there's no language anywhere for BU stuff to say these things are around. So my plan is to I'm going to talk to Dr. Fearon next Thursday about this and some other things, but one of the things is to ask for it to be written into the bylaws that e-cigarettes are cigarettes for all intents and purposes. This is just, I was doing some research today, and there have been very few studies about the health effects of them and whether they are less addictive or more addictive than cigarettes. The big thing that they claim is that they are less damaging to lungs because there's no tar in them, which makes sense, but then there's the problem is nicotine poisoning because it's much easier to...
Vapor versus smoke is easier on your lungs too.
Yes, but then the
There's
problem with nicotine poisoning, you only need half a teaspoon of nicotine in your system to be detrimental to your health. So there's issues with
The
that.
nicotine is an issue either way.
Yeah, that's sort of my plan. Any questions? No, just sign.
I just need your piece of paper. Am I not making the motion still? You're
Uh,
still making me make the motion?
This is one of the things. No,
Oh.
this is just.
You said this was one of the things?
No, it's not. I got them
You
here.
said it earlier, but
Did
You
I?
did say that earlier.
You did.
yeah.
Did I? Okay.
Thank you,
Then
everyone. Carry on.
You wanna make a motion then, or,
No.
I don't know. Doesn't, I don't know.
I'm just
It doesn't-
making a motion on whatever you want to do.
It doesn't, no, it doesn't really need to be a motion this way, it's just, I'm gonna have a talk with Dr. Firo
Sounds good.
and go about doing this, because, I don't know. It
How-
seems like a
How
reasonable.
long do you foresee before something can be written down about the wording, because that'll be the real kicker?
It will be, before December,
Okay.
probably. Probably gonna go through 1 or 2 Senate meetings.
Well, certainly, yeah.
One will be proposed and the second will be ratified, and then it'll be around. So,
Well, and then we have to discuss like what the ratification of like what's gonna happen if somebody does.
just like smoking, I'd assume, there would
Would
just
they
be,
get fined?
there's a fine for smoking. Even though on campus, it's not well enforced again, I keep on seeing people just walking across campus and smoking. I think I told the person off for it the other day, and they got all like in a huff at me and like, "Roar, I'm in between classes, so I'm smoking now," and it's like, well, okay. But, anyways, I guess moving on then to point B, bottled water on campus. It's come to the attention of BUSU that the Evans Theater is apparently selling bottled water on campus. So we need a discussion on what steps we should take in order to reinforce the water bottle ban.
Was it Evans Theater or was it just the event held by BUSU?
It was the Evans Theater.
Oh, okay.
BUSU happened to be using Evans Theater, and Evans Theater told them, hey, sell this bottled water for us if you want.
Oh, okay.
What's the deal with the ban? Is it just like recycling issues?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Just
Well,
water.
and it was the health, the idea of like the toxins in plastic bottles. That was the other
Okay.
thing.
That was the other thing. It was a big push. What, 3 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think my first year we still had bottled water being sold on campus.
What's the difference between just straight bottled water and say like the flavored aquafina
Ooh, we
water
had a
in
big
the
thing
past?
about this.
We did have,
Ryuichi actually explained it all to us. It's still on the board. From what I recall, it was the idea that the flavored waters, they didn't count them in the bottled waters, but he said he actually wants to ban flavored water as well because it contains aspartame. So it's kind of
Yeah, but so does any diet pop.
yeah.
So
But it's the idea that we already banned bottled water, so why are we still having flavored water? It was his
if you
issue.
get rid of the flavored water, you're gonna have to get rid of the vitamin water, and then it's just gonna snowball.
Yeah, the reason it came about was the whole campaign of water is a human right. Is the reason the water bottle ban came in the first place. Yeah, and from what I understand, what people have told me about the Evans Theater is that the Evans Theater, I still have to do a little bit of investigating just to make sure. But I think the easiest thing with the water bottle ban is just send out an email to the campus-wide community and remind them that water bottle ban is in place.
Was bottled water banned from the campus?
yeah, we can't sell bottled water on campus.
Why not?
This was a big discussion 3 years ago over a bunch of issues relating to it.
Well, how like water should be a human right, nobody should have to pay
So and this
for,
is
for regular
Got
water.
it.
Like, well, and something else we brought up last meeting. I guess we're filling in a lot of people. Cause
Yeah,
a lot of
perfect.
yeah, because the other thing we're talking about is if we do decide to go ahead with what Ryuichi wanted to do and ban flavored water as well, because what originally happened with this water bottle ban was the idea that they were supposed to install more
Yeah.
water systems.
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened, so that's something Joel was gonna look into, like see like what's gonna happen. Because what we want is because the water systems in like Brody and stuff like that, they're older and they don't taste as good and all these things. So what we want is like the ones in HLC, because there's a couple in HLC, but
Yeah.
not everybody goes there. So it'd be nice to have like 1 or 2 of those kind throughout each building. So.
Yeah.
And whatever HLC has is after that security lock, like you have to have a card to swipe in,
Yeah, and there's one inside the actual
inside
gym
that
too.
thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not accessible.
it's not accessible. You're
all
right.
the time.
Like we've got, I think there's Derek Hall has a water fountain on every floor.
Every floor.
Flora Cowan has
Floor.
1 water fountain in the on
Oh
the
yeah,
floor.
yeah, on first floor.
And then McMaster has none, which is a
It's
street.
ludicrous.
Yes,
That's weird.
we
Yeah.
actually brought that to Paul last year, and he said he's going to deal with it at some point.
It's like the chocolate.
KDC, we've got a water fountain down the Bing area, which isn't used much, which we might. We're looking at KDC's looking at doing some renovations, and that'll be one of the things is replacing the thing with one of the water bottle filling stations, as opposed to so we can set an example
Like
for the rest
water
of
fountain
the.
/filling station. Like
Yeah,
you have
like the one
Like
HSC,
HLC.
yeah. So that we can set an example for the rest of BU and say, hey, we've done this, you guys can do it too.
Right.
It's easy. Yes. Yeah. So okay. Moving on. Council representative on Health and Safety Committee. The university contacted Joel looking for a representative and alternate for the university's Health and Safety Committee. Joel?
He's sleepy.
Joel?
Sorry, man, I put it on mute.
I know that.
I realized I did that in the last conversation too. I was trying to put in and no one seemed to hear me. Sorry about that. Yeah, right now they have me penciled in, but Susan Smale contacted me. They're looking for a representative and an alternate representative. And I know Yuichi had expressed his interest in sitting on it. I don't know if there's anyone else who was interested in sitting on it or being an alternate.
I think Raichi would be like the logical,
Yeah.
Definitely
the
logical
logical
choice.
choice.
I think so, yeah.
What's that involve?
So it's health and safety on campus, so it's looking at making the place safer in terms of accidents and workplace environment. Like the big thing is ice on the sidewalks and stuff, is putting grit and salt down or whatever that is. And then like painting the speed bumps there inside the cafeteria, that type of stuff.
That got done last week.
Yeah, and then also talking about ramps and accessibility stuff. It's all sort of in that. Yeah, Luigi expressed interest. So, is there anyone else who'd like to do any part of that?
We should have. They were asking for an alternate, so I mean, is there anyone who'd be interested in being the alternate?
No, I could do the alternate.
Okay, Aaron?
I could do the alternate.
Okay. Perfect.
And I've been on such committees before, so I'm familiar with them, so
Yeah, I think they said they'll be meeting once a month.
that's fine.
Something like that. Moving on to point D, the big band dance. So discussion on whether BUSU should work with BUMS to try and make the big band dance into a bigger event than it currently is. So BUMS is the Brand New Working Music Students. We sort of mutually approach each other about changing venues for the big band dance. In the past it's been in suds with the band playing sort of where the couches are in the meeting area. It's a very cramped space. The musicians are meh with it. They're happy to be playing a big gig and doing all that stuff and having a bar for them and everything else. But it's been talked about with BUMS for the last few years to get where can they go for a different venue that's a bigger space. And then Tom Brophy approached me and or approached us, Joel, or approached Suze and I about using the HLC for something.
I was thinking so.
So the HLC has the ability to cover the wooden floors with some sort of rollout mat type thing, and then have host social events in there, and they have some form of liquor license. I'm not sure which one is it, per section, separate one, or is it the cafeteria is floating one, or food services floating one. But yeah, BUMS like they haven't proposed yet because they've had a big event last week and they're still haven't met yet since then. But they're just sort of wondering, is there any preliminary, would we be interested in hosting, in helping out with a big event, and then sharing revenue. So it would be a revenue maker for us.
So we wouldn't be spending money, we'd be making.
We spend some but then get a lot of money back. Like Big Band Dance is the other social that fills suds to capacity, and BUMS would really they would be looking for advertising from us. That would be the effort, and then maybe some help at the event itself.
Which we're kind of expected to do if it's in suds anyway, aren't we? Because suds is a BUSU thing.
No, well maybe, but this would be taking it out of suds to be putting it in the HLC in a different venue, and we might still have suds as our bartenders. But we have
I was
to
gonna
figure out.
suggest that.
I think that'd be a good idea, because it's kind of showing that BUSU is supportive of other faculties and whatnot.
Yeah, and like BUMS would have to come up with they'd have to do a proposal for asking for funding or assistance for that type of thing. So, interest? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Just
If we do that though, does that mean we're gonna give the same opportunity to any other group that may want?
other groups have that
BUSU
same.
to-
They already have the same opportunity. They can ask us for clubs ask for club funding, and they ask for other help. We do advertising for them all the time. They come in, and Tim, our designer, he makes up posters to them all the time.
Okay.
So it's not out of the realm of possibilities of our what we normally do. Okay, moving on to point E, possible change of health and dental providers. Sorry, this is a lot of me talking. Anyways, so on back last Tuesday, no, last Wednesday, Suze and Natalie and I met with Drew Martin of Student VIP. They are a insurance company who specializes in, who regularly do university union, student union health coverage. They've designed their plan works for us and what we do. He listed off he's got a big list of universities, a bunch with CFS and a bunch not with CFS that he covers across Canada. I think he's got 25, 26, something like that. And those are just the universities he covers. And he's got a bunch of colleges and a bunch of other businesses and such. Anyways, but this all arose from Morneau Chapelle being an incredibly difficult provider to deal with this year in terms of customer service. So for any of you who don't know, Morneau Chapelle bought Green Shield, who was our provider, and so they became a provider. And every year we keep on having to, because we never increase our amount that we pay into the health and dental plan, we have to cut we have to cut the benefits we give to students. So it's been year after year of cutting costs, and we end up getting sheets like this that are all. Hello?
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Roland.
Yep, I'm calling into the meeting.
You are? Okay. I'm just going to put you down right here. Okay. So, we're just having a discussion on the changing health and dental providers. Anyway, so we get these big sheets that look like this with all these different possibilities for changing plans, and then we end up going with this one from all those. And there's this big process every year to change things. And this year, also the Morneau Chapelle website, the system that we use for opting out of health and dental was incredibly difficult and incredibly bug-filled. So there were glitches in the system that were the most tedious to deal with, and we still have some issues that we haven't resolved yet, but we have them written down on pen and paper because that's the only way we can sort them out. So I have a bunch of email complaints which I asked for from students. These are just some of the people who decided to respond to me and said yes to having their information in email form as a complaint. So these are the official complaints I have, mostly against the website and also against just the process of opting out.
Can we look at them?
Sorry?
Can we look at them?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there you go. There's a bunch of them there. They were just, it was an ordeal this year. You guys saw it. We had to do 2 days of sitting in the meeting area with computers because we had access to the system and opting people out and just being able to go through things. So we were trying to do everything in our power to help people opt out, and we got to 98% of what we did last year for the number of opt-outs, which is about standard. But there's definitely a lot of people who we had to help out pretty significantly. Anyways, Drew Martin came to us with a bunch of very cool ideas from an insurer's point of view. The big one being that there's a bunch of cost-saving measures that his group has. They have a network of people they work with, doctors and pharmacies and dentists and health and vision providers who they work with, and everything gets networked, and then there's a cost sharing that's associated with that, and so that there's ways they can save money that way. The other big thing is even if we don't increase the amount that we pay towards the health and dental plan, there's a rollover at the end of the year. The money that we didn't use would go back into the health and dental plan, so that we could keep the $250 the same, but then we could, but also keep our benefits the same, or even possibly our benefits increasing, depending on how much money rolls over each year. And essentially, our benefits never go down with the health and dental rate never going up, or not going up for 10 years until it needed to be something to that effect. But this was he had a big presentation, and it was very cool. And then he also came to us with a memorandum of understanding. Here, I'm going to pass that one around. So it's just as a memorandum of understanding, so it's sort of a handshake, it's a formal handshake, saying, yes, we'd like to work with you, and we can do these things if you do these things for us. So the purpose of the background, BUSU is in need of a program manager to create and deliver a sustainable student health and dental plan that can enhance coverage, bring options, and ultimately reduce fees to its membership. The purpose is improve and extend a more appropriate plan design for brand new students, reduce premiums or costs to BUSU and its members. It's an opportunity for BUSU to increase their surplus, design a strategic marketing strategy to communicate the plan and its services, dramatically increase administrative support for BUSU and BU, provide on-campus service presence to students, develop a network of student-friendly practitioners, pricing, discounts, and service, all of that, and develop and execute a successful referendum. So they would come in and help us with a referendum at our general election to change providers. So this is the MOU, and as far as I'm concerned, they would be perfect. We did look into a couple other places. We did look at Blue Cross and into Sun Life, and they're sort of iffy on getting together with student unions because we're a weird group of people on the planet. We're sort of this ultimate. We're not a business. We're not a single business with everyone who's doing the same type of thing. We're these scattered people who are left thinking and strange. So they were sort of standoffish with getting. They said they didn't deny us their business, or they didn't deny our business to them, but they were iffy on where they wanted it. So this is an MOU to move forward into the next step of changing health and dental providers.
So if we have the because it would have to be at the AGM, would it not? So
It would have to be in the general election in February, March.
okay. Never mind then.
Okay, yeah, I'll just about make some clear, like, do they understand the issues you know we face with the old providers?
Yes.
Because basically they're going to be dealing with the same set of people, you know.
Yes.
So like we're going to assure us that it's going to be easy for students to opt out,
Yes.
right? And also this is the business organization we're talking about, so opting out is not good business for them, you know that.
So one thing, a big thing they came to us with is we have our health and dental pamphlet. They asked us who created that, and we said we created that because we get Tim Design. He creates it with our input and changes every year to get the new input. And they were surprised that we had to do that pamphlet, and they were also surprised that we personally were running opt-out days. What they provide is they provide all of the marketing stuff for the health and dental plan, and then they provide people to come in and table for a day of the meeting. They will provide their own people to come in and table for us to help people opt out.
Do they realize like the percentage of people who would be opting out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah.
Do you know what the like on-campus service presence would look like?
So it would mean they'd have a stand in the mingling area with their pamphlets and with some other information, and they'd also come in and table. I think it's 4 times a year, like one quarterly.
So there would be an actual person here who works
An
with that.
actual real life person, which Morneau Chappelle has not done in 8 years, as far as I can remember. As far as we know back.
Have you talked to, because you said there is some universities in CFS who do deal with that? Have you contacted any of them and like how they feel about
No,
that?
I haven't done any of the new guys. We did get in touch with ACC. I did get in touch with ACCSA, the ACC Students Association. They are currently going with student VIP. Like they're about, I think, 6 months ahead of us at this point in starting that process.
Yeah, because I think it'd be good to like at least like talk to people who have had them for a few years and be like, what is your input on them? Is it worth?
Get the
Are they
feelers
worth
out.
it? Yeah.
That could definitely be a thing. One thing with ACCSA going with these guys is the university is kind of at the fingertips brushing of a handshake with ACC and BU becoming one institution. I think the projection is 10 to 15 years, but it's at the start of the start of that happening. And if we are both with the same health and dental provider, this is very long-term thinking, but if we're both with the same health and dental provider, at that point it becomes easy.
It's one less thing that's worth the time.
But yeah. Rachel?
What's up?
Motion to sign.
Oh, you have to give me, you were gonna write it down?
Motion to sign memorandum of understanding.
Is that what it is?
That's literally what it is.
Then Aaron can make it.
I motion to sign the memorandum of understanding.
There you go. Thank you.
Got you back.
I was like, am I getting in trouble for being on my phone? I'm very confused.
So the-
been a long
we have to approve for each as well. Motion to approve for each as well. Does anyone want to second that motion?
Second.
There we go.
So the motion to be resolved that BUSU sign MOU with student VIP. So motion by Aaron
Seconded.
and
Spell my name right. You didn't spell right on your report. So.
WU. Okay, all those in favor, or sorry, is there any discussion?
I have to say it 3 times.
Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
Yay.
Or carried.
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 Okay. Moving on to point F, BNRC representation. Joel?
Yep, sorry. So I had Nancy McPherson, who's a professor in the health studies department, and also sits on the BNRC, which is the Brandon Neighborhood Renewal Corporation. Her and Marty Snelling, who's the chair, approached me and wondered whether BUSU would be willing to have a representative sit on their board. Their meetings are once a month. They do a lot of different things. I don't know if you guys want me to give you a rundown of what they do, kind of, or...
Yes.
Okay, basically, sorry?
I don't know, Joel, what do they do?
Okay. So, Brandon Neighborhood Renewal Corporation, the group that does a variety of different things. For example, they were involved in helping organize the community gardens. They provide funding for different community events. They give out community grants. They help promote energy efficient programs. Like right now, I think it's Westaway Day. They work with Manitoba Skills and Jobs Department to help train people and give them skills. Like for example, people who are low income or poor education, or maybe rehabilitated out of jail or something like that. One of the things they do is they do construction work, like they're renovating a bunch of townhouses on Westaway Bay, which is down off Pacific, between 26th and 34th. What else do they do? A lot of it's like jobs and skills. They're looking for young people anyways to get involved. They thought BUSU would make a good partner. I know there's already a Brandon University rep. I think it's Dr. Ebert sits on the board. What else do they do? I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Anyways, there's a variety of different things. They provide grants for like painting, like say beautifying your property, that kind of thing. That pretty well sums it up. So, I don't know. I thought it might be interesting. I don't know if anyone else would be interested. I know I would kind of be interested in sitting on it, but I mean, it's up to you guys whether or not BUSU whether or not you guys want to send a BUSU representative to sit on the board or not.
Any discussion?
As long as there's people who want to, why not? I think it's, if there's already somebody from BU, we might as well have somebody from, like, to be there from the student's point of view too.
And if Joel's a volunteer.
Yeah, he already wants to do it.
And you can do it. Yay.
Yeah. Okay.
We support this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Oh, well, thank you guys. Perfect.
No problem,
Okay.
just bring donut tomorrow.
What was that?
Just bring donut tomorrow. Team
Yeah,
donut.
donuts, you know, Tim Hortons.
Bring us donuts to thank us.
Yeah, tomorrow. That's it.
Tomorrow. ASAP.
If I hear the word donut again, I might throw up again.
Donut.
Okay, moving on to point G. Donation to YMCA Women of Distinction Award Dinner. So this was in the past, or at least last year. The YMCA has sent a letter requesting. The YMCA has sent a letter requesting a donation to the YMCA Women of Distinction Award Dinner.
WCA.
Yeah, wouldn't it be white
Oh, it's W.
It's YW. No, it's a different thing.
Is it okay?
YMCA is
Then
different.
Gym, right?
probably just a mistake in here. So last year we donated $100 to them for this Women Distinction Award. Just wanting to do the same again this year, I think, unless there's any other discussion.
Well, how big of an event is it? Like, is it a pretty big event? Do you know?
Joel?
Sorry, what was your question?
How big how big of an event is the Women of Distinction?
I haven't actually been to the dinner before, but it's usually a fairly sizable event. I know there's sponsorship. They have sponsorship options that go up to like $5,000. So I mean, it's a fairly sizable event.
Well, I think like if it's that sizable, like I think we should consider because that would go into the donations budget, would it not?
Yeah.
And like, okay, if I'm reading the budget, is it $395 that we have for donations this year? Is that right?
I think that's what we've used thus far.
Oh, that's what we've used, and how it's the very bottom one, Nick, on the first page.
Oh, I see,
Yeah.
it's 500.
I think I believe that's what we used. I don't have the budget in front of me.
So,
Because that's a big chunk of that was from those expenses Manuel brought forward to council. Those two students from, I believe, Long Plains. So that's-
Right. So
we
we've
have
used
105. You have 105 left, pretty much.
We have 105 left, and the reason that the amount is so much lower than it was last year is because we had to find places to cut into the budget, and that was one of them, was in our donations.
Yeah. Well, then I think we should might as well use up the rest of it on this event. I think because what's $5 in left over in the donation, we might as well add that. I think we should add that to the donation to the YWCA.
If we didn't do it, what else would the donation go towards?
I'm unsure, but it's things like if a club or organization came to us and said, "Hey, we're trying to help with a charity. We need some printing done." We usually take it out of that fund.
Yeah. But I think if we spent $395 on what we did, I think we like and I feel because this is obviously an issue that I care about. I think that we should put this money towards, and also by putting money towards something like this, it also kind of looks good in the sense that we're supporting women in our community. So I think we should use up the rest of the donation budget on this. Did I have to make a
I agree. I agree. I just say even $100 though.
Well, I don't think there's any sense of leaving $5 left in the donation budget.
Could the $5 just go somewhere else though? Because 105 is kind of a random number.
It's just a weird number to look at from a charity status thing.
Be like, BUSU donated $105.
Yeah, but I just I don't see the sense of like just holding on to it for some random.
So one of the arguments that they're making is that if somebody had to use printing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
$5 of printing is sizable enough.
Yeah, that is a lot
Yeah.
of printing.
Yeah.
That's true.
So the other thing is rollover. If we don't use that $5, it goes back into our budget and that helps us at the end of
Yeah.
the year.
It's true.
It's
Extra
$5, but
$5.
yeah. But just overall for everything in this proposed budget, things we don't use, we can roll back in. Like there's a way. Anyways, that's
Yeah.
budget stuff.
I just think it's
will
kind of
come.
unfortunate that we chose to spend how much we did at the beginning of the year because now that's something
What did we spend that on?
reimbursement of travel funds to a couple students. But now that we have a thing that we could and should be putting money towards, now we don't have that extra money. So I definitely think that we need to be putting in this, at least the $100. So,
So is there any other discussion or a motion on the table?
Is there a motion on the table?
I'm gonna make a motion.
Okay.
What do I just say? Motion to
Be resolved.
be resolved Then I make a motion? I don't
Be
know.
resolved
I've never
that
made a
we-
motion.
BUSU will
Here,
donate.
I'll do it.
No, I'm doing it. Be it resolved, BUSU will donate $100 to the Women of Distinction Award dinner.
Are you laughing, Mom?
I will second that motion. I will second that motion.
Hi, Joel's mom.
Be it resolved that BUSU donate $100 to the YWCA Women of Distinction Award.
Dinner.
This is a gender. It matters to me.
Okay, and that's Wu. And what's your last name?
Thompson,
Thompson.
with a P.
Bops.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Oh, sorry, wait. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion?
What do you have to say 3 times?
Because
All those in favor?
it's fall off.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
In favor.
Oh yeah, Rowan's.
I was gonna say, did we lose it?
I was like, that's
No,
not
he's
Joel.
He's just on mute there, it's good. Works. Okay, moving into point H, the budget. Roland, do you have a copy of the budget? Anyways, okay, so everyone else who's here has a copy of the budget in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very detailed list. We have 2012, 13, 13, 14 as the concrete post budgets. 2012, 13 has been audited. 13, 14 is currently in the middle of an audit. But anyways, this is the budget as it stands from last year. Then we have the proposed 2014, 15 budget, and then the actuals as of today. So all the way at the bottom, you might notice that the actuals say negative 90,000. That's because we don't have student fees in yet for all year. So
Which is
things.
gonna be like 200 and some.
Yeah. So what we're really looking at is the proposed budget. That's what we're looking to approve today. As you can see, at the end of it, 279.27 is what we plan on making at the end of the year. The big part of this was for Rock the Block. If you see under entertainment and events, Rock the Block is the first one, and it was $78,029 that we made in Rock the Block. And then under expenses, Rock the Block was $118,000 spent. So we lost $40,000 on Rock the Block this year. And those are our final numbers, even after changing around some of those expenses to other places, which we were able to do. We still lost $40,000 on Rock the Block. So it was that's the big part of why our budget is not positive 33,000 as it was last year. Anyways, this is the budget as it stands, and we've had to cut a bunch of things. We've also had to change it so that part of my wage is going to be paid out in tuition rebate, as opposed to check, cash in hand, so that we save money by using the tuition rebate we get from the university to pay my position and such like that.
Is it only your position or will we make external as well?
It's up to whoever fills that position. Like I personally went to Natalie and said, "Hey, I'm willing to do this," and so it's done. Because yeah. But anyways, those are cost saving measures that we put a lot of cost saving measures in to make our budget positive. Any questions or discussion on the budget?
I have a question.
Yep.
Now that we're negative 40,000 from Rock the Block, where do we get the difference? Would the council, would the union be able to operate properly given the deficit?
So what we've done is some cost saving measures we've done. Things like the donation budget went from $2,000 went from $1,000 from last year down to $500 for this year. There's also a bunch of other cuts in other places. One thing is the fact that I wasn't hired for 2 months and then I took 2 months off. was we saved 4 months in vice president internal salary. So that was something where we were able to cut the proposed budget for that by quite a bit. It's all in here, but human resources and executive salaries from last year went from 66,000. This year proposed at 42, because we're pretty sure we can get 24,000 off of that in different ways, and that was
You don't make 24,000 in 4 months.
no. But then yeah, and then that's also was also Joel in there. But then also my wage is going to be paid in some of the tuition rebate up to the maximum that the BU allows for that. So this is the cost saving measure we can have, and I'm okay with it because the money's that I'm getting paid is going straight back there anyways. So it's just out of different pocket. So but yeah, so we're on there. There's small cuts all over the place that Natalie was able to get together to make the budget come out positive.
Just barely.
Yeah. Does that answer your question? Okay. So, do we have a motion to accept the budget?
I'd like to put a motion to approve the budget.
I second it.
So be it resolved that the proposed budget be approved for the 2014-15 year. Moved by Thompson, seconded by McLean. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the budget for 2014-15?
Aye.
Motion carried.
It's a lot more funny when Joel says discussion than when you say discussion.
I actually don't know if you need to say discussion 3 times.
It's in Robert's rules.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay,
It is
never
in
mind
Robert's
then.
rules.
It's just funnier to hear Joel say it because he sounds so uncomfortable. He's like, discussion, discussion. It's so funny. Oh my goodness.
Before you go to the next
He's
session,
making
I
that
have a
face
question.
right now.
Is Memo coming today?
He did say he was going to phone in. He was going to phone in at 8ish.
He just gave me a text and told me that I'll be in 20 minutes. No, I'll be 20 minutes. So text me when they talk about PPA external or something.
Which we're going
Okay,
to
well, we're
right
moving. We're
now.
moving on to that point.
That's right
So
now.
what should I do? Should I text?
Text him and tell him
Text him
this
right
is
now.
what we're doing right
Yeah,
now.
just
We're
tell
doing
him
it right
that's
now.
moving on to right now.
Alright.
Unless there's a motion to amend the agenda to move that to the end.
He didn't tell me that. He just said I will be about 20 minutes. He didn't. I don't understand what he means. I'll be about 20 minutes.
Well, because he was gonna call. He means he's gonna call in about 20 minutes. We might as well just keep. I think we should just keep going.
Okay.
Just keep going with the agenda.
So moving on to point I, resignation of the VPE and appointment of acting VP. So Vice President External Sandra Vitassa resigned. This is probably the last meeting, and then at another separate meeting we had. So we now need to determine whether to appoint an acting VP or leave the position vacant until the by-election.
I'd say leave it vacant because what date do all? Because you four would need to not be working as of what day?
October 13th to the 24th is the period, is the campaign period ending in the election. So nomination period is next week, and then the week after that is election.
So just nomination period? Is that when you guys have to stop working?
No, we can still work during the nomination period,
So
but then
basically we'd be appointing someone for a week.
we'd be appointing
So
someone for
I
the
don't think that makes sense. It doesn't make sense. Because it's not like, because we did discuss that as VPE,
Yeah.
the main duties, were rock the block. Now that rock the block's over, a week worth of VPE work is virtually nothing.
The other thing that we had a discussion when we hired Aaron, was if we're hiring someone so close to the election, it looks like we're shoehorning them into that position.
Yeah.
And then when you came forward, it was still, we discussed it, and there was still a lot, it was still a month, month and a bit before we were like, yes, let's get this person here and do it.
I
And
agree.
then,
So when is the by-election?
by-election is 2 weeks from this Friday. No, 3 weeks from this Friday.
Yeah.
Yes, 3 weeks from this Friday.
Yeah, so there's really no point in
No,
appointing
I
her for
agree.
like a week.
So I heard that Sandra wants to run again or no?
If she wants to run again, she can.
Yeah.
It's open to any BU student.
Yeah.
Anybody can run.
Okay, is
So,
that it?
any further discussion?
Discussion?
I think we need to actually make a motion to just leave the position vacant.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone want to make that motion?
Well, Joel, you can.
Yeah, Joel.
Okay, I'll make the motion to leave the position of vice president external vacant until the by-election.
I'm seconding the motion.
I second that motion.
Oh, Manuel got it first there.
You
Roland.
guys have to fight first. You're gonna win.
But I'm here, right?
It's more fun when there's a lot of people because then all of a sudden like 5 hands will shoot up.
That happened at our council meeting. Abby tried like 4 times to second something.
It's more fun when we're trying to adjourn the meeting because then everybody's like, yes, adjourn it. Especially when we had like that 3-hour meeting.
So the motion is be resolved that the position of VPE be left vacant until the by-election. Springer and Oko? OKOH, right?
Yep.
Okay. Discussion. Discussion.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Motion carried.
You guys are just making, I got you on speakerphone for this meeting, my mom's standing in the next room holding clothes and she's getting a kick out of this.
Hi, Joel's mom.
Very good. Very good. Okay. After that, moving on to point J, appointment of the ERDI board.
What is this?
Yeah, what is that exactly?
Joel?
Rural development?
Hang on 1 second, just let me scroll down my bylaws, I wasn't ready yet.
Right.
You know
Yes.
what ERDI board is?
First I didn't bring my paper
I
copy.
don't want to find like and I didn't want to do it then.
Which road was that? Development. No.
I didn't want to do it then.
I hate using Macs, oh my god.
You guys have the power to change the PCs, you know.
There we go.
Have that power.
Oh, rural development.
Yeah.
Then we no longer use iCal, we'd have to use Google Calendar.
Okay, essentially what the ERDI board is, for those of you who don't know, is that the ERDI board is there to resolve any disputes that might arise around the BUSU elections. Say if someone has an issue with the ROs, it would go to the ERDI board or that kind of thing. The composition of the board is that there will be 4 members of the union up to a maximum of 2 council members. And in the event BUSU is unable to find non-council members to sit on this committee, council members may fill the vacant position.
Okay.
And then it's also composed of 4 members of the union who shall serve as alternates.
Wait, so is that that's not like selection committee, is it? Because when we were supposed to pick selections committee too.
That was way back for appointments of us. But this is for
This is for like if there's like issues.
this is for if there's issues. Yes.
Members of the union up to 2 members of the council. Does that just mean random students then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I personally would like to serve on ERDI board.
Okay.
I know, I kind of, they said it was rural development, and I'm like, not interested, but now it's stuff to do with the left.
Betrayer.
I.
Just that's it.
So we can't be
I know we can't,
because we're running.
because we're actually running it.
Darn.
So
I
it's
keep campaigning against.
Alif, Roland, or Joel.
I'm staying on.
Okay. Roland, any interest?
I'm saying
Okay. No. Okay.
So I guess it'll be open, could it not
Yeah.
be sent out via
So
email?
the thing is, it's up to 2 members of the council.
Oh, I
So-
Well, so I'm the only council member?
So it could be. We'll send an email to everyone else.
Wait, so who's in charge of ERDI board? It's not the RO.
No, because
It's if they have issues with the
if they
RO.
have issues with the RO, I
Yeah,
think,
so who runs that?
I think the ERDI board meets and decides that.
Okay, I'm getting really scared. I don't want to run ERDI board. Calm down.
Anyways, okay. So, well, we need a motion for that then.
What's
I'm gonna make a
the,
motion about myself.
up to 2 council members, but is there a minimum how many people have to be on it?
Four, we need 4 people to do it
Four
total.
people total.
Okay. So we need 3 more people.
Yeah, like I'll send
And
out a
for
campus email, advertise, asking if anyone's interested in sitting on the committee.
So we need 7 more people to make it happen.
6,
3 more people and then 4 alternates?
Yeah.
2 more, there's 4. Also, there's 4 who sit, including 2 council members.
There has to be 2 council members, or can there be 1 council member and 3 other people?
It can be 1 council member and 2 other people, up to a maximum of 2 council members.
Okay, but we only have Rachel for sure right now, so we need at least.
Oh, okay, I thought Roland said yes.
No,
No,
I said no. So we need 3 more for sure and then 4 alternates.
Okay, yeah.
That's a lot of people.
And we can't do that at all, right? None of us.
No.
I feel
Yeah,
like.
but there's more council members that can, because there's still like Sean Michael,
Yeah.
Manuel,
Still, there's only 1 spot for
Ryuji.
them. I feel like it's gonna be really hard to get a
They've done it-
minimum of
they've done
6
it
random
before.
students.
It's actually one of the few boards that fills out immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
In
People,
my-
people
my-
want to do stuff. though.
People like to complain about the election process.
Yeah. And
In my
therefore,
experience.
early board,
I'm okay with that.
So,
complaint board, more or
Yeah.
less.
yeah. Okay.
Rein them in.
I will-
So, we need a motion on the table then.
I can't motion myself, guys.
I guess I will motion.
Yeah,
You're the lucky person.
I believe in you. Make the elections amazing.
I'll do my best. It's a hard thing to do.
Oh, do your second best at least.
Okay.
What is going on with
That's
this?
Emmanuel. Here.
You get a second?
you.
Gonna second my motion?
Alright, I do.
Yay! Just point people out.
So be it resolved that Wu be appointed to the early board, motion by
Aye.
Thompson, second by Khan.
Can I say yes to my own motion? Like a motion?
Yeah.
You can, yeah.
So, any discussion?
How do
Discussion?
you feel?
Discussion! All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Joel.
Okay, so the other thing with that is, while we're still on this point technically, usually the student members of the early board are appointed by the selections committee, but we haven't actually assembled a selections committee. So how do we want to do this? Do you guys trust? Like, I don't really want to be the one appointing, because I don't want any issues to arise that, well, the executive or the president's the one appointing people to the board, to the early board.
Can we just have like first come first served volunteers?
Can I still,
Yeah.
can I be on more than one board? Because I wanted to be on selections, because back when we were trying to pick who was going to be on which club, or not
Yeah.
club, committee, that's the first one I had written down was selections committee. So I personally want to be on selections committee. If we're
Selections
still
committee has not
making
met yet, has it?
that. No, we didn't even make one.
Was there not a selections committee that
No,
we created?
Because we had the list of like who wants to be in which thing.
It's technically a standing committee, but at the same time, it's not, well, yeah, I guess it's technically a standing committee. It's kind of the 6th one that doesn't really come up that much. But yeah, I just kind of focused on getting the other 5 standing committees filled. So if there's anyone, so whoever is interested in sitting on it, I don't know if Rachel's just said, I believe it's 3 council members I need.
I don't know.
There's only like 2 people that can be on it from this whole group.
Yeah.
Well, 3, Roland.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
No 4. Oh no. Joel.
So one thing, if there's a motion, we can just accept that we can give the power to the president to make the selections in good faith.
And still just
We
do
could
first
always,
come,
we could
first
always,
served?
could we not just like leave selections committee until, could we not wait to create selection committee? Like have Joel do the selections up until after the by-election, until there's more council members?
What is saying now, right? I mean, like, we just made that, we should wait, allow Joe to selection, right?
Allow Joel to make the selections until selections committee meets,
Yeah.
What is that?
or until it's formed.
Yeah, until we form the selection. I think, yeah.
Okay, but I want you guys to make a motion for that then.
Okay.
You can do it.
Do I have to say what's that?
No,
word
just
then?
say-
Okay. I make a
There you
motion
go.
that Jill Springer
So just,
Springer,
So like-
President Springer,
so just for the language, be resolved
be it resolved,
that,
Springer,
that
President Springer.
El Presidente.
Springer,
Mr. President.
Repeat after me.
so,
Oh my god.
be it resolved that Springer be given the authority to make selections for the ERD board.
Until.
Wait, for the ERD board?
Or for everything.
Or do you want everything?
Oh, I thought it was for everything.
Might as well just say that now. So we
Okay,
don't have to
so
make more motions.
selections for committees.
For committees
Yeah.
until the selections committee is formed.
Can you add and ERD? Because ERD falls under that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, until,
I just want to explicitly state it so that there's no issues or concerns.
sorry, what was that, Roland?
Until when?
Until the selection committee is formed.
Okay.
So be it resolved that Springer be given the authority to make selections for committees and ERD until the selection committee is formed. Motion by Wu, is there a seconder?
I'll second it.
Yes, your team.
Yeah.
LGBT women.
Any discussion? Discussion? Further discussion?
So much
I was confused by the
discussion.
further.
All those in favor?
In favor.
Motion carried.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on to point K.
Logan Fogg.
The appointment of Logan Fogg as returning officer. Logan, he was, so as of
The only
Friday,
one that applied.
sorry, yes. So as of 4:30 Friday, no one had applied to be returning officer. And I had talked to Logan at about 3:30 on Friday saying, hey, do you want to be returning officer? And he was all, he was like, he was unsure. He asked me to give him the weekend. So I said, okay, can you tell me before 8:30 on Monday morning? He got back to me Sunday afternoon and said, sure, I'll do it. He figured out the scheduling and was like, yes, I'll do it. And he came in and met with Natalie today about RO stuff, and by-election posters and such have been created, and they're up now because, anyways. So, the ball is rolling. We just the ball's rolling. He's a third year English major.
No, he's
Phys ed.
He's now in phys ed. So he's a third year student. This is his first year in phys ed. He's McMaster Hall Council president, and he was a floor representative last year in McMaster Council. He's been involved with those councils, and he's been partially involved with BUSU in the past. He was a poll clerk last year, and so he knows some of the system.
I'd just like to add, jumping in, normally the RO is chosen through the RO selection committee, but the reason we're bringing this is brought to the council like this is because we only had one applicant, so I didn't feel there was a point in making an RO selection committee when instead it could just be brought to council because there only is one applicant.
Yeah.
Just for a point of information.
Any further discussion?
Well, I think if we're going to appoint him, he needs to be well versed in everything, because like, as we were discussing prior to the meeting, the issues that did arise from the elections last year, I don't want anything like that happening this year, especially with the turning over of the new title for what was formerly the LGBT director. I don't want any issues to pop up similar to that.
So one thing that has assured me of some things is Natalie, our general manager, has said that she is 100% willing to help Logan out. There were issues 2 years ago with the returning officer not having enough support from council and from BUSU in general, and that created there was a pile of issues. That was Derek Booth's year as RO. So there were a pile of issues with that. So Natalie has agreed to be Logan's helper, and Logan can come to her with any questions he has, and such like that.
Okay.
Another thing is Logan has only agreed to be RO for the by-election. He does not want to be the RO for the general election in the spring. So, unless he chooses to play. But that's as part of his like being hired. He was like, I'm not doing the spring one. Don't know my life at that point. So.
Yeah.
Thank God for Natalie and Suze. You do so much.
I second that.
So, is there a motion on the so there's a motion on the table. We need someone to move it and then someone to second it. The motion is be resolved that Logan Fogg be appointed as RO for the 2014-15 by-election. Someone to move that? Claim. A seconder.
Seconded by Emmanuel.
There
Okay.
you go.
Hey.
So any discussion? Any further discussion? Any ongoing discussion? Ooh.
So
Fancy.
words.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carried. Okay. So moving on to our last point. Discussion on tuition rebate for directors.
First thing is, Natalie said long time ago that she will tell us in the meeting how to do that. Did she tell it? Because I don't know if we didn't have some meetings last time.
So what was your question?
Like how to do that tuition rebate.
We just get it.
So
Because they never said, with the changing of the 12 to 3 hours, they never said you have to document, it's more or less, we get these 3 hours no matter what.
I thought we have to fill out a form.
So what happens this year is all of you are getting 3 tuition credit hours.
Alright.
If you guys don't get re-elected, then we'll figure something out. Well, you'll get paid for the amount that you were here. Natalie has a way of calculating that anyways. But essentially you get 3 credit hours that covers your whole year or one semester.
It's one semester, it's November and then.
Covers, yeah, so you get 3 per semester. And then, but then this also means that we have a pile of tuition credit hours sitting over here we can give out. And as we do in the past, sometimes we give out credit hours to students who need them.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
It doesn't show it.
No, it's, so this is part
Only
of
the voice.
the
voice,
voice, yeah,
right.
the shutters. Anyways, just making sure it's like, yeah. So we have a pile of tuition credit hours that we can give out. So things like Rock the Block, you guys, if you work Rock the Block, you get an extra hour of tuition rebate.
Oh no, you missed it, okay.
Nope.
No.
So like Rock the Block, you get an extra hour of tuition rebate. If you come in and work, and then there's other things like if you work socials or other events that are outside of your normal duties as international director, if you can record those hours, and whenever you get 15 hours of work done, you can submit those to Natalie, and she will give you another hour of tuition rebate.
For that, I need to submit it. I didn't submit it. Alright.
Do we have to submit Rock the Block or?
No,
is that-
no,
that's
Rock the
automatic,
Block. If you
right?
work Rock the Block, we're giving you.
So for socials, for example, do we have to get Carla to sign off to prove that we were actually there? Because I don't want any like I'm not saying anybody will, but just to make sure
There's
no
nothing in the
trickiness.
bylaws, nothing set up like that. It's currently unaccountable.
So somebody could just like make up that they were there.
They could, yes.
Nobody do that.
We're trusting you to make good choices and be a good person.
But I need to
Fair
tell them that I was
mindset.
there. I need to tell Natalie that I was there.
Yeah, so record your hours. Say you worked the social and you.
How long I was there with you? I forgot the.
Which social?
Oh, that was the
Facebook?
Facebook social.
So yeah.
Were you there from like 9 to midnight or something?
I was still midnight and all that, but I don't know when.
Yeah, I think you were there at
Just
8:30, 9, something like that.
9 to 2.
Yeah.
But just keep a record of these things, and then
So that's fine.
Natalie will ask for submissions for them. I think end of October,
Alright.
because she pays out, you guys get paid twice a year, essentially.
So,
That's how the university works for these things.
And how about, oh, do you have something to say?
no, I was just saying, so like we work 5 hours at disorientation, so once we get another 10, we can.
No, not, for that one was special because the rock the block switch over. Like,
Wait, so
combined.
what?
So you guys have disorientation because
Yes.
this is what was worked out a while ago, because you guys left early at rock the block. We counted disorientation towards that.
Which orientation?
Just disorientation.
Okay, no. Okay, that makes sense because we worked 5 hours at disorientation,
Yeah.
but then you left Rock the Block like 5 hours early,
Yeah.
and I left, but I only left Rock the Block like 2 hours early.
Okay, well, I believe it was agreed upon.
Yeah, Joel said we were
No,
getting
there was no agree. There was no agreement.
Joel said we were getting paid till midnight for Rock the Block, and then there's 3 extra hours, so there's still the extra 2 hours from the social that aren't accounted for then.
Yeah.
Then
So
record-
we have
record-
2 hours to record so far.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
And you said
Okay.
every 15 hours we get how much?
One tuition, 1 hour.
Is there-
So how much is
Sorry,
that?
wait, speakers list.
So 2 points for that. First, is there a cap?
Until we run out of tuition rebate hours.
And second point, I know that you guys were discussing this before. I've read some previous notes that you guys have had over the year. Is it sometime this year they're going to discuss the tuition rebate going, or not tuition, the amount of credits going up for directors for the next year?
Yes, that's
Okay.
on.
Just want to make sure
It's
that's
on, it's on my
the
to-do list,
Perfect.
and it'll probably come up in 4 months.
Beautiful, thank you.
How much, like,
Nope, speaker list.
sorry.
Nate, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you go.
Like when you say 3 credit hours, what's the dollar amount? Because obviously science is more than arts, so how does that work?
Also,
it's-
internationals more than Canadians.
Yeah, exactly.
Speakers list, guys.
So to answer your questions, Natalie has those dollar amounts, and it is based on the science numbers,
Oh,
I believe. Natalie has it all. It's all a big list of standardized stuff that she pays you guys out in. It's really easy for her to do that. And it's based on Canadian students.
so basically everybody gets paid my tuition, like as a Canadian science student?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe.
One course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
I believe it might be that, or it might be arts. It's it's one type of tuition rebate, one type of hour. That's
Okay.
what it's worth. Now, that's what
So
it is.
it might be more, it might be less than what your actual tuition is.
Yes. And
Definitely less for
that is maximum. Sorry. The other thing is it's a maximum how many credit hours you are taking.
Oh, okay.
So
That makes a lot of sense.
that's a university rule.
total.
Because like I'm gonna get paid in tuition rebate hours, but I can only get paid up to 24 because that's how many hours I'm taking over the course of the year.
Right,
That was yes.
thanks.
Alright, more thing about it. I talked with I forgot her name, Crystal, yesterday. The girl, woman who's the president of anti-bullying, Crystal.
Crystal King. Yeah.
Yeah. She told me that these things like 3 credit hours, this motion did not pass because they didn't have enough students there. Is it right?
So which motion was this?
It was to
12
make it.
Yeah, what didn't go through the AGM, they took to council at the last couple council meetings, of this past, school year. And it was passed there.
So it was passed in council meeting,
Yeah, not at an AGM.
AGM. So if I wanna raise it again, is it possible to pass it in council meeting again?
So this is an issue we're having, and it's number 1 on our priorities list. Is student engagement at BUSU events. So at the AGM specifically, we only need 50 people for an AGM. We had that for an hour last year, and that was the first time in 3 years that we had 50 people together for an hour. It's student engagement in Brandon in general, like ACC and us, ridiculously low. So what we've been doing is we've been passing motions, just like my motion last year that I proposed was the residence director had to live in residence during their term in office. That motion got passed and it's changed in the bylaws, but it's essentially not changed in the bylaws yet because it hasn't gone through an AGM. Because it's gone through council. So what we need to do, what was proposed at the last AGM didn't get to, was that we give council or we give a bylaw committee the power to change the bylaws. And we haven't been able to do that, so we've been acting as through council saying here, we've given ourselves the power to change the bylaws as we see necessary and as we see fit.
So I can move out at Christmas and keep
No.
my job,
Um,
besides you killing me?
so what we need to do is we need to have an AGM, a functional AGM, to change a bunch of these.
Alright, So it means if there isn't enough student, like 50, not 50 student in AGM, when is the next AGM actually?
We have not scheduled one.
Alright, so
It'll
not,
be probably end of November,
Alright.
mid-November. It has to be after the by-election.
alright, we don't have enough student in AGM, so if I put the motion in counseling meeting and it passes, is it alright?
Yes,
Alright.
that's what we're going as at the moment.
But
Yes.
then
then-
it doesn't carry, okay, that's a
That's
very
the
good
issue,
question.
yeah.
So
If the motion passes through council that say we wanna raise it back to 12, does that start after that meeting, or does that start
No.
of the next
So,
term?
we
the next
cannot
school
we
year?
cannot approve a raise for ourselves for this year.
Yeah,
We can only approve a raise for next year.
next year, yeah.
That's
This year meaning just this term or this
No,
whole
this
school
whole-
year?
this whole school
Okay.
year. And we function.
Yeah, the reason I was concerning about it, like this 3 hours is nothing. Because if you want people to come in the meeting, you need to pay them. I canceled my job to come here. Somebody else maybe did that. Somebody drove from home like 2
And-
hours driving or
And I
something.
entirely agree with you.
Yeah.
And this will be a discussion for a meeting in 4 months. I think this will be or at an AGM.
Yeah.
This will be
Like, I agree, I think it should be at least up to 6.
at least 6. Like the system with 12 was you had to record all your hours, and then when you got to 12, that was the maximum. The system we have now is 3 no matter what, and then the possible increase. I think Joel and I have been talking, and I talked to Natalie a little bit as well, is that if we put it at 6, and then you have the ability to add more on.
Also,
That'll
I think it is good to have those recording hours because some directors maybe don't work and they get paid automatically. That's what I like.
Mhm.
It,
Well, I
it
think
creates.
I think there's a big deal because like you're already getting 3 hours, but like say the social I worked and Mercedes worked and stuff like that. Some of the council was there and some of the council wasn't. So then it's like if we were getting paid credit hours for that, then it's like those people who don't show up just luck out of those credit hours and it's their issue. It will have more credit hours, but they will just be stuck with a 3 if they're not gonna come to work. Because those ones you have to record. Any extra ones.
No, I'm telling that thing last time they had like for 12 credit hours they have to record it. I like that idea because maybe I'm international director, I have no relation with the international students and I'm getting paid, so I have to record what I'm doing for them, right? That's what I liked. It was.
Accountability is what you're saying.
It's all about accountability and being open, and if someone comes to you with a question, say, hey, where were you at this day, this time, you can go, oh, I was working this and doing that, instead of going, oh, I was working for BUSU, and that's all your,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the good thing about accountability is it not that if the students don't feel like you're doing an adequate job, can they not ask for your resignation?
They can't. Yeah.
So would that just fall under like, if a leaf potentially wasn't doing his job, would it just be international students that could decide that, or would that be?
I think
The
it will
student
be,
body as a
I
whole.
think it will be international students who decide.
No, it might be different according to the bylaws.
The bylaws might be different.
It's just the student body as a whole.
Whole?
Yeah.
But I'm not responsible for whole.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on directors. I can get back.
I
Yeah,
can
for-
randomly say I've never seen a leaf do anything, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna make him resign.
Yeah. Because
But
yeah.
I'm not an international student, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't see it.
That's true.
I'm unsure. I need to
Yeah.
check the bylaws.
Oh, I guess that
Good
has to do
question.
with
Um,
students.
But I agree with you. This is an issue this is an issue for this year, and it will get dealt with by the end of the year.
Alright.
It's
Who
on.
made that amendment last year?
That was Matt May.
And who said yes? I don't understand.
It
How
was-
many directors said yes about this?
Well, he was a
Did you think
VP.
about it? Like,
It was
Who
this.
said
So this.
yes? I'm
Yeah,
sick
this
of
was.
that.
it was like,
Where are they?
So this was. Yeah, it was a motion by Matt May last year. and it
If
was
it's
his proposal, so.
not in the bylaws for it to be the specific student group, I think that should be changed.
I was saying earlier, Natalie's been going through the bylaws
Yeah.
recently,
Mhm.
and she's gone about a quarter of the way through the bylaws. She has about 100 changes.
That's for sure something that doesn't make sense if it's
Yeah, but we
not
don't
like
even
that.
know what it says.
And this,
No, I'm
this-
just saying if it is that way,
and
then.
this was the problem, is the AGMs haven't been happening, so we haven't been able to update the language in the bylaws. That's the thing. Anyways, does that answer most of your
yes,
questions?
it does. Just my concern was that one. Like, she's told me that it did not pass this motion for 3.
It wasn't that it didn't pass, it was that it never came up at the AGM.
Alright.
Like, it was on the agenda, and then we lost quorum, so we missed, like, well, the agenda was 39 pages,
Yeah.
and we got through 6.
Alright. That's enough. Maybe they could put some more nachos and pizzas. Their steak.
We have to figure
Fry them
something
with
out to
food.
make that. Anyways, okay. So, moving on. Number 8, business arising from reports. Is there any other further business?
The only thing I want to bring up is does Tuesdays at 7 work for everyone then?
What?
Does the Tuesdays at 7, does this timing
Yeah.
work for everyone?
I know like for example, Leaf, I know it's a real pain in the ass to put it bluntly, because it works. But it seems like the only one that really seems to work for majority of council.
Yeah, so I'll try my best to change it, Joe. I'll talk to my co-workers if somebody wants
Yeah.
to take my shift.
Because I like we could add this actually to. I meant to add this to the agenda. I apologize.
No,
That's gonna. Sorry, Nick.
it's alright. I'll just talk to my co-workers and
Okay.
try to change it. Because usually Wednesday is my off day, but I can talk to them. My co-workers are cooperative. They understand, so it's good.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say, if you guys want, I was gonna say we should maybe at this meeting make a motion setting council dates for every second Tuesday from now on for the rest of the fall term.
Sure.
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 Okay.
Do you want to make that motion?
Make the motion.
Make the motion.
All right. I make a motion to have our council meetings be on Tuesdays at 7 on what is today, 30th, for the fall term. October 14th, October 28th, November 11th. Oh, that is Remembrance Day.
Yep.
November 25th. And December 9th.
Okay, so be it resolved, the council meetings happen at 7 p.m. on October 14th and 28th, November 25th and December 9th. Motion by Springer,
I'll second.
second by Thompson.
Yeah, we'll have, I don't know if you just said discussion yet, but we'll have to figure out something around, so, because of Remembrance Day, but we'll figure it out.
Okay. Discussion. Discussion?
Discussion.
Discussion.
I can table that on 28th.
Hearing no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Any other business arising from reports?
Yeah, I had something to say, Joel. I think,
Yeah.
Joel, maybe you sent me an email that I missed. I did not know that I got the position for student senate at large.
Oh yes, I am sorry, Elise.
Did you-
I
did
thought
you-
I had emailed you
Did you
back.
send me?
You got, yeah, you were appointed.
Oh, and also KDC?
Yeah.
I was surprised, like 2 days ago in the gym, Manuel was telling me that why did you not go to the meeting, Senate meeting? I said, why would I go? And he says, you're the Senate. I said, I didn't know I'm Senate.
I know. I never had a chance before that Senate meeting to talk to Kim. She was kind of on holidays and such.
Alright,
To get things changed around.
that's fine. I just wanted to make sure with you.
Yeah. No, I'll be sending out an email tomorrow. I meant to send it out last week before I went on holidays.
Alright,
With the membership on each committee.
okay, thank you.
Yes, my apologies.
No, that's cool, that's cool.
Okay, any other business arising from reports? No? Into announcements. BUSU by-election is coming up. Positions that are open: music director, health studies, grad studies, accessibility, sex and gender identity-based, arts, science, residence, education.
Science as well?
Science center, yeah, science director. Ben Arpin dropped into school.
Dropped?
Yeah,
Oh,
so he dropped into school, yeah. Executive positions: vice president external, vice president internal. For senators, music, arts, education, health studies, student senator at large ×2. And then board members, the KDC student at large, and the SUDS student at large ×2 for each of those. Those are the positions that are open. Nominations starting Monday, October 6th, which is next week at 8:30 a.m. Nominations closed Friday, October 10th at 4:30 p.m. Nomination packages available at the BUSU office. There'll be a little slot for them on the big
Starting next week?
starting next week, Monday at 8:30 a.m. There'll be a forum on Tuesday, October 14th at 5 p.m. And then election polls will be Thursday, October 23rd from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And Friday, October 24th, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. All of those in the mingling area. Yeah. And those positions will be held until April 30th, 2015. Those are announcements, big poster, they're up everywhere.
Can you hold more than one position at once?
Yes, you can be residence director and
senator.
Senator.
But I can't be two
You can't be
directors.
tutor.
I
Can't be
can't
two
be
directors.
residence and science.
No.
Okay.
Can she be vice president and resident?
3 directors, right?
Yeah, the two
Are
directors.
you sure? Okay. Just make sure.
No.
I don't want to be vice
Are
president.
you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Why not?
Too much work.
He's done.
Too
Work
much
is all done.
drama.
I'm doing a million things as it is.
Look,
I
look,
don't
look.
have time.
But yeah, so you can be a director and a senator. Like I'm currently vice president internal and student senator at large, and
So,
believe for your
yeah, now I
KDC
know.
board. Oh, all the things. Yeah, that's my announcement. Anyone else announcements? Any events coming up? October 10th is Light the Night.
Like tonight.
Light the World Purple. Light the Night
Night
Purple.
road.
Light the World Purple. That'll be held in the HLC. There's posters for that. Be there, please. We're gonna have a table for that and a bunch of other stuff happening there. And we will have a call. We need some volunteers to do a water table for that.
One more thing. When you guys give us call, like Natalie give us call for volunteer work, I think it would be good if they mention that how much they're gonna pay us for that particular thing,
Well, it'll be how many hours you put in.
Oh, it will be like altogether 15 equal to 1 credit.
Yes.
1 credit hours, right?
Yeah.
Alright, got it. Now I get it.
Is it just like one of these and one of these, or is it all three? It can be like all three.
Do you-
Director, senator, and a board member.
I'm unsure.
So I don't think I can be any of these. Well, student at large, but.
But yeah. Anyways, those are the positions that are open. All 4 of us will be running.
Is that the?
So Nick, do you know how
No,
much
it's-
is 1 credit hour?
$136.
So for 15 hours and then 36
Less than
hours.
$10. Kind of thing.
It's something like that. Natalie's got the real numbers down. You come and ask her tomorrow. She's got this big. I looked at it today. It's a very cool chart of
So
like
it's
But
less
it's
than
not
minimum.
taxable.
It's less than minimum wage.
less than minimum,
But
not
not
taxed. Not taxed.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
No
Hence
EI
not
I
either.
was
No
gonna say
CPP.
that's illegal. But
but then we do provide health insurance.
And it's voluntary, right? So it's legal. You're doing it for free, and this is a stipend you get later.
sure.
We are one of the few student unions in Canada to pay its members.
That's
so
true. I didn't get paid in U of M.
yeah. So
It's because it's U of M.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
man.
Brandon University is better than that.
Okay. Then I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, second.
Okay.
After-
Motion to adjourn.
We all
At
agree.
what time is it?
8:48.
8:38 is there.
A little late there.
I guess that it would.
Hey, I have you to back me up. So it's okay.
8 p.m.
Gender.
All those in favor?
Favorite?
Alright.
Aye.